Welcome. Today I want to show you how to sculpt a head in modeling clay. Okay, and then from that modeling clay head, you can either create a cast in plaster. This is the front of the face, and then I have another mold of the back of the head. Okay, that's not the only way that you can actually create a finished sculpture from a modeling clay model, however. And in fact, this example, which is a marionette head, was created by layering paper mache on top of this form and then cutting through that paper mache around the middle of the sculpture, and the modeling clay sculpture, and pulling both sides off. So I'm going to show you how to create the modeling clay form, and then you can use either of those approaches. I'll show you how to do that later on. So the first thing that you want to do is decide whether, how you want your head and face to look like. And I haven't actually added the eyes here on either one of these because I actually add those afterwards, and I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, so if you want a realistic face, then you can refer to the portrait map videos that I have about drawing faces to see the different proportions that you want to look for. And I have a front view, I have a profile view, and I have a 3/4 view that can help. Okay, but if you want to create a realistic head, then you measure the proportion between the height of the head and the width, and then you measure where you want the eyes, which are halfway between the top and the bottom. They're spaced a certain way, and I'll let you watch those videos to come up with an idea of how you want to create a realistic head. If you're not creating a puppet head, that's actually going to have like a joint here and attached to a body and whatnot, but you want it just to be a freestanding sculpture, then you want to make a base that widens out under the neck, okay, so that your sculpture, either just of the head or of, kind of the shoulder area to create like a portrait bust, is stable. Otherwise, it'll just be kind of lying there and looking a little bit morbid. Then what you want to do is sketch both the front view and a side view or profile of approximately how you want the features to look. I'm not creating a realistic head. I want it to go along with the different heads that I've already made. So I'll be creating another stylized head. Okay, and it's okay if you modify some of the details, some of the forms as you're creating the sculpture. That's just part of the process. But it's good to start out with an idea, kind of a general idea of what you're going for. So the next stage is to create an armature. Okay, and because we don't want to make this entire form out of modeling clay. Not only would that be a huge amount of modeling clay, but it would also be very heavy, and this way you are stretching your clay, and you're also able to just have a little bit more control over that. So the first thing that you do is just find some materials that you can use. You might use some mail wrappers. You might use some old newspapers. You might use just some shopping bags, the plastic shopping bags or the paper ones, and you just start building your form, wrapping these materials and taping them with masking tape. Okay. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just take some newspaper and create more of a detailed form that will match this sketch. Okay, I'm just going to double check. It's a little bit on the tall side. Whoops. You want it to be nice and compressed. Okay, what you're trying to do is push down the added material very firmly. Okay, so you're not just running tape over the surface, but you're actually shaping the armature with the tape as well, because you're kind of pushing in on it. Okay, now I actually still want to have a neck coming down from this, so I need to add that to this form as well. We're just going to build this up gradually. Okay, so now I'm going to build up the neck, and I'm going to do this gradually. By just adding little sections of newspaper. Notice any areas that are asymmetrical and fold up some newspaper, add it to those sections to kind of even it out. And let's see, it looks like we need a little bit more here and a little bit more right here. Okay, so we're not going to worry about getting the features created in the armature. It's just kind of the basic shape. Okay, and then we're going to flatten out some modeling clay, and if you are working in an area that has kind of a chilly environment, you'll want to put your modeling clay in a plastic bag without any holes in it, and then soak it in some warm water. Okay, and then we're going to just cover this with a thin layer of the modeling clay. The entire armature. We're trying not to use so much that we're actually making the size way bigger, but there needs to be enough that we can build on and use for, you know, kind of blending the different seams together, things like that. Try to get any air bubbles out from in between the armature and the clay. It's easy to get air trapped in between, and you want to do your best to get those bubbles out. Okay, so once you have it covered, then you're going to be adding some more details and kind of smoothing things out and fixing any slight problems with the symmetry that you had in your armature. Okay, so this side is still a little bit narrower than that side, so I'm going to build that up just a little bit with some additional clay. Okay, and then you can take your finger and kind of blend, smooth things out. Don't press too hard or you'll kind of change the form. You're just trying to kind of go over the surface, make it a little bit unified.